Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of B to Z. Today's June 11th. This is the failed laying worker pattern, failed queen. This will be part 3. Um, and what we're looking for is to see if the queen is actually laying properly. They have been, on the previous episode, you can see, on the previous part, you can see that she still has a very spotty drone laying pattern, and there was still multiple queen cells that were being produced, which I'm guessing that the workers want to supersede her. Doesn't seem like she's doing well. Again, for more details, look at parts 1 and part 2. And before we start, please go down below and hit the subscribe button, and the thumbs up will be great. This way you can keep up with this the progress of this hive that hasn't been doing very well. Or queen, I should say. Queen has not been doing well. Alright? Alright, so thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. And then at the end of the video, go ahead and post any of your comments, suggestions on what you think is going on. So smoke the end just a little bit. Crack the top. Beetle trap. One beetle. No bees stuck to it. One bee there. As you can see, these beetle traps do work. Let's go ahead and pull off these 2 frames over to the side. There's a lot of roaring going on, most likely because of the smoke. Pull this frame out, it's empty. The next one. So this is just some nectar, a little bit of pollen. The other side has one of the queen cells right there. There's a queen cell. Let's see if it's open or closed or what. Okay. Still open. They never really quite ever capped that one. Here's a new queen cell. Right there. That wasn't there last week. That one's got a larva in it. Okay, we'll put this guy back in. This is frame 2. Lots of nectar. Got that drone pattern towards the middle there. There's some pollen at the top, some nectar scattered. The bottom left there's some more drone pattern. I see some larvae down there. Another little queen cell there. Let's look at it side. That queen cell is empty. I'm looking in the rest of these cells for eggs, and I don't see any. Let's flip it around. So all we got is just that drone pattern right in the center. Still, there's no eggs anywhere else. No sign of the queen here. On the last couple videos, I usually found the queen on the last frame that has bees on it, or the second to last. So here's the second to last frame here. I'm going to spread these apart very carefully. So we still got that same drone pattern, or I call it the laying worker pattern, which is really what it's supposed to be called. I don't see the queen on this frame. I see nectar filled in between some of those drone cells. Flip around. So again, same kind of pattern on the other side. And the queen cell in the middle. Queen cell there. It's got larvae in it. Queen cell, queen cell. So this one's got a larva in it. This one does not. There's another queen cell there. And that one's got a larva too. But again, you know, these were there like a couple weeks ago. Doesn't really seem like anything's happening. I haven't quite spotted the queen yet. So she's probably in that next frame. That's where she's been. Good amount of bees. A little bit of pollen here, some capped honey. No sign of the queen at all. No eggs. No queen. It's the same amount of bees that were there last week. I don't think they swarmed, because of the number of bees appears to be the same as before. So there's that section, nothing there. Got this section. Then you find the queen there. There's a queen cup there in the bottom right. Right there. And that cell is empty. So we do got some progress. We had some capped queen cells last week, and some of them are not capped now. So who knows? Maybe a queen did hatch. I don't know. I haven't seen any worker cap brood. So the likelihood of it actually being a queen that hatched is very slim in my opinion. This frame is pretty much empty. Nothing in the cells at all. The other side is the same. This is looks like they're repurposing some of the old comb. So this is a change in the sense that I could not find the queen this time. I usually find the queen pretty easy in this hive. Let me poke around here, see if she's crawling anywhere. I don't see the queen crawling anywhere. on the sides or the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and work my way back again. Looking for the queen on the frames. No sign of a queen in the sense of that there's no eggs. And if I don't see the queen, I'm going to have to assume they killed her or she died. The third could be that maybe they swarm, but again, I don't see any decrease in number of bees here. We'll go backwards and we'll look at all the frames one more time, see if I missed her. Don't see her on this frame either. Put this one back. So if we don't find the queen here, I could wait another week before I actually do anything. But I don't think I'm going to waste that week this time around. I think what we will do, especially since I don't see any eggs, even if I do find her, I'll do this. What we'll do is I will add a frame of eggs on another hive into here. And if the queen cells that supposedly hatch, if they're truly queens, when they come back, then they'll have a queen, and then they'll just tear down the queen cells. If the queen never returns, if a real queen does not return, then they will already have a week of a head start making their next queen out of a worker bee or fertilized eggs. Again, all these queen cells that are on here, I don't think that they're actually going to be queen cells. I think those are just unfertilized eggs that are just not working out for them. So I don't see the queen here either. I see 80 eggs. Last week I saw eggs. I've seen zero eggs. So we'll put a frame of eggs in here and cat brood. That'll suppress any laying worker from laying up the hive with drone cells. This is why I think it's really important that you do frequent inspections, especially on your non-honey hives. This way you can keep on top of them. So my goal this year right now is to produce a little bit of honey, which I am, in order to continue to buy supplies to make more boxes, make more frames, etc., to support the splits that are successful. You check them frequently, you can do an intervention like we're going to do today to help save these bees or make them useful for the next queen. So it's been about 3 weeks. since I noticed that this hive wasn't doing well, I watched it from the moment that was a queen cell to a virgin, mated. She started laying some eggs. Then the following week, it was just all like drone cells that were being capped off. And so I've been trying to stay on top of this. So this is the first time that I get a virgin queen that doesn't do well when she mates and fails within like the first week, I guess. Alright guys, so this is it. I'm not going to further look into this hive for the queen anymore. I don't see her. I don't see any signs of a queen. Even if she was there, she still needs to be replaced at this point, in my opinion. So the thinking here now is that the queen has failed, whether she's here or not. There's no eggs. So this is a queenless colony at this point. And so what I'll do is I'll grab a frame of eggs from another hive and put them in here, and then I'll start the process over again as far as watching it for queen cell being produced, capped, hatched, and then we will watch to make sure that she actually gets eggs in there. So I'm going to stop the camera for a moment while I inspect all the other hives, and then once I find a good candidate hive that could produce, or that I can borrow a frame of eggs from, then I'll show you that. All right. All right, I found a frame that has some brood on it. This frame is from a split, and there's a queen cell right there. The split has 3 other queen cells on one frame. So, and this frame has 1, and it's capped. So I will go ahead and use this frame and put it into this hive and see what they do to it. So I'll go ahead and date it and mark my hive and explain what I've done. This way I know exactly when I saw that this queen cell was placed in and capped. So we'll go ahead and surprise these guys with a new mama. If I come back in a couple of days and this frame has been, the cell was chewed out, then I know it's because the queen is still in here. But I have a feeling that they're going to accept this no problem, since they've been making queen cells like no tomorrow. Because there won't be a tomorrow if they don't get a queen soon. Eventually this hive will turn into a laying worker. So go ahead and make a little bit more room in here. That should be good. I'm going to slide this guy over. Okay, you can probably tell I have a little bit of gap here. You can probably tell I have a little gap here. This is the frame with the queen cell on it. The queen cell sticks out just a touch from the actual frame. So I'll go ahead and not press these two guys together. Normally I would squeeze all these guys together, but they're not in comb making mode right now. They want a queen. They want a queen that's going to work for them. So I left a little gap there to prevent from getting that queen so smashed up. So, well, that is the end of this episode for the failing new queen. As I close this up, I'm going to remind you guys to please go ahead and subscribe. Every person that subscribes really helps my channel. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for new videos, by all means go ahead and post them down below and I'll see what I can do for you guys. With that said, thanks for watching another episode of B2Z, and until next week, see ya.